So everything that you're going to hear tonight, you guys, is legit. Everything is transparent. It is no hype. It is no next best thing. It is rooted in science. And that's what you're going to have here tonight are researchers, formulators, doctors, scientists that are all about the it. Okay. So first I'm going to bring on a gentleman who is one of my dearest friends, Dr. Brett Brimhall. Dr. Brett Brimhall and his wife have been together for over 24 years, you guys, and they have 4 children. He's a chiropractor, and he's been a chiropractor for over 20 years. And here's the deal. People literally move to be treated by him. He is unbelievable. In 2014, he had a paradigm shift when he saw changes in a patient that he had worked on for over a year with a breakthrough technology. He is on the scientific advisory board of the company. Yes, here at LifeVantage. And there is a Brimhall method of chiropractic. Has anybody heard of that? Well, that is his last name. He and his father literally travel the world, educating, formulating, and teaching people how to live their best life. So Dr. Brett, if you could unmute, and if you could just share with everybody tonight, let's start with the foundation of everything. What is activation? What is NRF2? This activated collagen, why is it a big deal? But just let's get everybody just started out on what is activation, if you are there.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
There he is.
Good to see you guys. And it's actually fun to see that we're maxed out on the line. So that's even more fun. Guys, excited to be here. I'm super humbled to be a part of this amazing group and just grateful to be here. Sometimes you don't realize where you're going to end up. And that was really my story here with LifeVantage. I'm going to we're going to talk about activation and this whole idea that's different. So I'm going to make it real simple. I'm a really simple guy. At the end of the day, like your body wants to heal. It wants to be the very best it could possibly be. But the body is a balance. So the more stress you have, the less reserves you have. So if your stress becomes greater than your ability to handle that stress, then we get what's called dysfunction that can later lead to disease. So the idea of lack of function, loss of function, we call that aging. So I like to describe activation this way. We all have a level of stress. How activated are you? And so you have different systems in your body that are supposed to work together. And real simple, one, the energy production system, a repair system, a communication system, and then delivery system. Like those systems all have to work together, right? You have to have all the right materials, you have to have all the right systems working. How activated are you? So what level of life are you living? How much energy do you have? How much abundance of energy you have? How fast do you repair compared to what you used to? Or maybe people similar to your age are. And that's truly the result of how well all these systems work. We call that activation. And we call it that because there are specific systems in each of your cells that are supposed to work, and they can work at whatever your 100% is. But is your system of energy production and repair working at 50%, 60%, 70%, or your 100%? So the NRF2, what you hear about with the studies on 2 different products and NRF2 activation, what that tells you is how much good enzymes can your body produce to repair. So if you're functioning at 100%, we know from the studies that can improve your body's ability to repair by 40% in 30 days, up to 70% in 3 months. So if that system is not activated, so if this is new to you, you have the potential to have more activation in your life than you currently have. So who wants some of that? And the collagen is the same way, but when it comes to collagen repair. So let me kind of give you a perspective of what this looks like. So I've taught clinicians since 1995. And so my dad's a nutritional formulator. I formulated with him. He's formulated 200 different products. So when I was exposed to this and I saw this young man change in front of my life with these products, I knew there was something different because I hadn't done anything different. He had taken a different product that activated him, where I saw him unfold in front of my eyes, where he was able to do things that we didn't think he'd be able to do. So what I did when I first saw that, I said, well, is this an isolated incident, or what would happen if I took people that I care about, that I worked with since 2001 when I began practice, and I called one of them up particular. I said, I've learned this thing. I want to, with this activation thing, which helps your body perform better than it does based upon specific genes that we now understand how to improve. I said, Eileen, let's have you do this. they'll give you perspective. Her best at that point in time, she called herself One Task Eileen. What that means is she could do a task and she's so exhausted she had to go lay down, and her life consisted of doing a task and laying down, but she was okay with that because that allowed her to stay home instead of being in a care facility. So when we began activation with her, with the Protandim NRF2, over a period of time, I saw her driving on her own again. And then I saw her staying up more often and seeing me less and less. And over the years, I watched her go from being on a whole bucket of supplements down to a handful of activators. And yet her body continued to get improvement in how much energy she had, how much interaction she could have with her kids and grandkids, how much less she needed me, how much she was able to handle her environment and the insults that were going on all the time. And I watched it get better and better. So chronologically, she was aging, but from a functional perspective of her body functioning better, she was getting younger. Collagen comes out, and I just talked to her today. I said, hey, I'm going to share your story. I just want to get permission, right? She's like, totally cool. Well, today she is now a grandmother. And before, when my biggest concern for her is, would she be able to like take care of her grandchild? Like, could she pick her up? Like, that was always a concern. Well, there's no concern now. Well, today, guys, she was playing with her grandchild and she hopped. So she hopped where she got off the ground, right? With somebody that was diagnosed with something that basically turned from an autoimmune problem into breaking down parts of her body, she was able to hop and get off the ground. She said probably only half an inch, right? But to be able to hop and not fall, that she has not done that for 20 plus years. And the collagen came out just over a year ago, and she's been on it since the beginning. So as you listen to these studies throughout tonight, and you hear about why we're as scientific members of the community and this company are excited about this study, is like, I was seeing things happen in Eileen and other people that I wasn't sure why. Like, I was seeing it. I was appreciating it. So you can experience things you don't fully have an understanding of explaining it. Because your body, like, you don't understand how a bruise heals, but it does when the body works right. A muscle tear, a ligament tears, you don't understand how it happens, but when it does, it happens when we worry about it. So when you listen to the stories tonight, just know the level of health that you're enjoying, the level of energy you're enjoying, the level of vibrancy you're enjoying is directly equal to the amount of activation you're experiencing. So if this is your beginning of your story of activation, just know as LifeVantage, we're at the forefront of understanding activation in the human body and applying natural methods to activate the ability for the body to make energy, repair, communicate, and deliver the right nutrients in the right way in an activated form so we can have the most activated life. So listen closely to the study, but listen to the stories. And if this is the beginning of your journey, hang on, it's going to get better.
Incredible, Brett. Thank you so much. And the power behind all of that, the activation, the lowering of the oxidative stress, the activating of literally all your cells. But it's so cool how obviously all that happens, but the power of the quality control, the power of the ingredients that they choose, the efficacy, all of that behind it. Dr. Lee Seward, are you out there? Can you unmute yourself? I want everybody to know here the standards to which this company works and how that all is. Dr. Lee, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. This is one of my favorite people from Colorado, you guys. He is just a lover. He's a veterinarian. He is a Vietnam vet. Thank you. Love you. He's a husband, a very good, loving husband, a farmer, a Christian, and active with foundation and nonprofits. He's a researcher, developer of animal pharmaceuticals, including, everybody listen, do any of you out there have dogs? Have you ever heard of HeartGuard? Ding, ding, ding. And this man helped create that. This man here is with LifeVantage and is on our scientific advisory board. Horses. Dr. Lee, say the word for me because I don't want to say it wrong that you created.
Zymectrin.
There we go. And Epronix for cattle. Is that right?
That's
I
right.
don't want to pronounce it wrong. And Solo Step. So These are big deals. Put in the chat if you've heard of this, you guys. He's an author. He's a co-author of numerous scientific papers and patents. He's an original member. He's been with LifeVantage for many, many years. He was an original member of the Medical Advisory Board and Scientific Advisory Board. So anyway, Dr. Lee, thank you for being here. I know quality control, all of that is very important to you. I know you have your own story with collagen, and when you saw the ABC Prime Time Investigative Report years ago, that blew your mind and led you to also looking at the research. Can you tell us a little bit more about why we should be excited about what we have in our products, please?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for having me. And I'm flattered to be included among such an illustrious group of speakers. I'll talk a little bit about quality control, and then I want to talk a little bit about some specific observations on this particular study. First off, LifeVantage has set standards for quality throughout the range of its products, in that it monitors the ingredients from their production, even if it's in an international location. There's a system of auditing and close scrutiny on every ingredient in our products to make sure that they meet the highest standards. And many of our products are overseen by third-party groups, such as the NSF. The NSF is kind of like the UL is for appliances. NSF oversees from the start all the way through to the production of the product that we are meeting all of the goals that we have set for quality. There's also certifications for some of our other products, such as the Banned Substance Control Group and the National Animal Health Council for pet tandem. But all these standards involve a third party that is looking at what we're doing and making sure that we're doing it right. These ingredients are sourced, shipped, received, assayed, and then in production, all of our batches are tested, etc. So it's the highest standards you can possibly imagine. But one of the things I really wanted to focus on is something that's special to me, and that is the uniqueness of the company when it comes to the research and development. As a person that was involved in research, and when I look at this study, I'm just blown away, because this study that we're talking about tonight is an exquisitely designed study, and it is extremely innovative. And I'd like to thank LifeVantage Research and Development Team, Dr. Christina Beer, Lisa Barnes, and the whole team. Because you've heard a little bit from Dr. Brett and from Michelle about synergy and about activation. But what this study does, it reveals an almost unbelievable synergy, a synergy that was not even imagined when the investigators began looking at it. Just think about that they found something that they weren't even thinking about. We have seen, as Dr. Brown, we have seen synergy in our other products like Protandim, NRF2 Synergizer, and the combination of the Tri-Synergizer. The components or the ingredients had similar activities that, when combined, created more activation than the sum of the individual parts. And that's basically what synergy is. But in this study, the combination of Protandim NRF2 Synergizer and the TrueScience liquid collagen activates a totally new set of genes and many pathways that are totally unexpected. And due to the way the study was designed, specifically how the study was designed, we were able to capture that activity, that synergy. it showed a reduction in cellular stress. Now, cellular stress, what is cellular stress? Well, cellular stress is an imbalance. It's an imbalance that causes discomfort, achiness, irritation, dysfunction. It's an imbalance. Well, cellular stress has many other names, but it's an imbalance that we all experience. Back from years and years ago when I was in practice, my farmer clients used to call me with, want me to come out and look at their ADR cow. ADR being ain't doing right. Well, all of us have some ADR going on in us right now. And it's due to many, many things. Just life in general, physiological stress. In fact, I'm feeling a little flushed right now myself. Anxiety, diet, alcohol, injuries, exercise, exertion, and of course, my personal favorite at 77 years of age, aging. So this reduction in cellular stress that was found in this study by the combination of the NRF2 synergizer and the True Science liquid collagen creates a potential for many benefits, and the benefits that many of us are already seeing. My wife, Rebecca, just commented tonight that she has gotten a lot of easier movement in her knees. She suffers from a really debilitating mobility issue with her knees, but she's gotten some relief of that by the combination of these products. And many of you have seen similar things. I've heard several other stories from some of our other people on our team. And these benefits will be particularly welcomed by, need I say, the aging population. No other company has anything like this, as demonstrated by the pending patent. With this study, LifeVantage has again demonstrated that it is a leader in health and wellness through cell activation with natural products. Thank you.
Round of applause, Dr. Lee. Wow. And I don't know if you can see the chat or not. I'm also getting side texts. It's someone had said, oh my gosh, can you get a picture of Dr. Lee because he looks 10 years younger than somebody else just said, no, he looks 20 years younger. He's Benjamin Button. And he does have phenomenal before and afters that we will definitely get out if you all haven't seen it. You look incredible.
And there's lots of stuff available on LifeVantage quality, Michelle. I know you wanted me probably to go into more depth on it, but it is so much a part of the philosophy of the company and it is so broadly ingrained in everything we do. But I just wanted to tell you what excited me most about this study, and that is the fact that it was done to perfection and found something that normally you wouldn't be able to find.
Yes. Thank you. That gives me chills. Anybody else out there have chills? He mentioned something that was unexpected, and I'm sure some of you caught that earlier, but that is what corporate was running around saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, unexpected. That is why we have a patent pending on Protandim NRF2 and our activated liquid collagen. So be proud, be excited. If you don't have it in you yet, make sure that you get it going immediately. So thank you, Dr. Lee. Love you to pieces and love to your gorgeous bride. We so appreciate your time and energy. Dr. Sean McKee, are you out there? If you could unmute, please let me know that she is there. You're getting some round of applause already. Dr. Sean is a dear, dear friend. And she is a neuroradiologist, you guys. Let's think about how smart these people are, right? I do grasp the type of people that you're listening to tonight. She's a neuroradiologist for over 32 years. We were laughing about that, over 32 years. She's a two-time Ironman. Do you think activated liquid collagen and Protandim NRF2 together is something that you should be taking, drinking, every single day, especially as in being an athlete. Yes, 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 absolutely. She's also a triathlete, an ultra marathoner. She's married to a gastroenterologist. Can you imagine their conversations? Oh my gosh. And excitement on what we have. She is a mom to 2 adult sons and have 2 little dogs and 1 zany big dog, she said. So Dr. Sean, are you there? Incredible
I am
one.
here, Michelle. Thank you.
There is that radiant girl. Okay, Dr. Sean, lay it down. Tell us, as a neuroscientist, neuroradiologist, for over 32 years with your profession, why are you so excited about activated liquid collagen and NRF2? And maybe, we were talking earlier today with all of these guys, we saw things happen when people started using activated liquid collagen when they were on Protandim NRF2. And then we're like, oh my gosh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening with the brain, with the eye, with the gut, with the joints, all these things. But now that we have this research here, how was that aha moment for you?
Well, I mean, I just, first of all, it just made sense that there would possibly be some synergy between the 2 products, because they're both operating and affecting areas that optimize cellular function, that reduction, that removal of that oxidative stress. And remember, the brain is, 70% fat, at least the solid portion of it. And so oxidative stress affects the brain. And then you have something that impacts the extracellular matrix, which is involved in signaling. And that's basically the brain's job, is to, signal from one neuron to the other. And that cellular communication is impacted by, speaking of a doctor in the house, the Dr. McKee's getting called, that cellular communication can be impacted both mechanically and biochemically. And that's what the collagen and SOD and the glycine in the collagen does. And the really exciting thing is what we're finding in the study, that it lowers that, modulates that immune response. And the, cytokine storm is extremely, we heard about that, in times past with it was kind of one of those scientific words that came out into the news. And if you think of the brain, I wish my husband would close the door, but he didn't. But anyway, when you think of, yeah, he did. He might have heard me. When a person has brain surgery, sometimes certain tumors are very sensitive to manipulation. And, in fact, my dog had one, not in his brain, but on his skin. And sometimes when you operate on a tumor, it creates such inflammation around it. The cytokine storm is something that happens. And in the brain, it's a closed space. You've got a hard cranium around the brain. And I actually have a dear friend of mine who had a meningioma removed from her brain, and that got irritated, and the swelling. They had to keep a piece of her skull kind of in storage until the swelling came down. It's so profound, and the fact that this combination really lowers that effect of cellular stress so significantly. Not only that, it not only lowers the effect of it, but it lowers the processes, the very, interleukins that are involved in it, and interleukin 1, interleukin 6, those things are reduced, 88, 97%, which is just huge for creating a healthy, balanced immune response, a healthy, balanced inflammatory response. So important for the brain and every other cell in the body.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Anybody else? I'm just putting all those out there.
Yeah.
So is this a product, Dr. Sean, that you will be taking for the rest of your life?
Absolutely. And on days where I have exceptional stress or post-workout injury or anything like that, I'll take it twice, because, and I'll take it in combo for the second time. I in the past, before I had the results of the study, if I felt like I needed extra collagen, I would take a second collagen during the day. But now I do the duo together because, why not? And I will tell another story. It's not a personal story to me, other than she's a friend of mine, and maybe somebody else was going to tell this story. But a friend of ours, who had been experiencing, kind of a circumstantial low mood, and just kind of not herself after starting. She'd already been on the NRF2. After starting the collagen, just kind of after about, I don't know, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks, just started becoming herself. And now we can understand why, because that inflammatory response, that hyper reactivity was just calmed down, and it allowed her to be able to almost return to normal in spite of very difficult situations. So I love that the science is demonstrable in terms of how people feel, both from their mind and their body.
Amen. Who here needs joy? Who here needs happiness? Who here needs hope? Who here just needs to wake up and feel right like yourself? And who here needs that information? Who can we share this information? Because I have heard those stories over and over and over and over again. So please, you guys, let people know that the joy is coming back and there is science behind it. And again, do you guys really, are you grasping the type of people that we have here tonight that are sharing this information? So Dr. Sean, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you could talk for hours upon all of this as well. So thank you so much. We're going to run over to the Dr. Sveta Silverman. Dr. Sveta, are you out there and can unmute? You're going to get another round of applause here from 500 incredible people that have maxed out the lines. Are you there, Dr. Sveta?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello,
And,
there she is. So Dr. Sveta is one of another. I tell you, she's just,
we're running out of time.
She is loved.
Skip the introduction.
She is, nope, she always does this because she doesn't like people to talk about her, but we're going to real quick. She is pure love and she's heart and it cares about everybody. She recently she's a fellow of the American Board of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. Who would like to be treated by a doctor or talk to a doctor that has their anti-aging and regenerative medicine fellowship? Anyway, huge, huge, huge. She's a surgical pathologist. She lives up in Canada. She's from Russia. She was a children's, help me, Sveta. There she goes.
Pediatric surgeon.
Say that again.
Pediatric surgeon.
Pediatric surgeon, thank you. And then moved over to Canada where they didn't recognize her licensing. So she had to go back to school and became a surgical pathologist, and she specializes in breast cancer, you guys. She went out to Cambridge, presented at the first 2 NRF2 symposium. Is that not huge? Then she went the next year to Madrid, attended that. She is a researcher, she's a scientist, but the big thing behind Dr. Sveta is she cares about whole body health. She wants to help. And before we got on here tonight, Sveta, I was thinking about you and just thinking about your mission and where you wanted to go as a human for impacting the world of health, and how you just have to just be, well, I know you have been, with NRF2 and all these products, but now that collagen is also here, how that just raises the impact for you. So please share with us why you're so excited with your background and any special stories of before collagen and now with collagen, please.
Well, first of all, thank you for the honor. Second of all, incredible gratitude for previous presenters and that incredible group that we are in. Not only amazing physicians of any kind, of any shade, but just amazing individuals, pure heart and soul. And third of all, I support Dr. Seward, acknowledging the corporate. Guys, we need to shout to Dr. Christina Beer and Lisa Barnes, because to evaluate almost 14,000 genes, that's an undertaking. And apparently, Christina was stuck in her office looking at every one of them and then analyzing them and then making sense out of it and sort of chewing it and making it palatable for all of us. So for me as a pathologist, the validity of the study, the excitement. comes from, they actually looked into something that I see right now. You know, while some presenting, I still have work to do, and I'm looking at fibroblasts as we speak in case of breast cancer. So, but the thing is, the difference between this study and most of the other studies on cell lines, that this was done on normal cells, on normal, which is called fibroblast. I presented it last week. So fibroblast is a foundation of our tissue. It's the structure, it's a skeleton, it's a microenvironment, it's a connector, and it has to be normal. Because if it's abnormal, it feeds cancer. So having normal human fibroblasts, that's a big deal, because most of the cell studies are done on cancer cell lines, which, you know, that's what we have to do. But they have a different genetic makeup. They have a different molecular metabolic makeup. They're already crazy. They're already activated. This is a normal makeup. This is like us. And these cells then were, you know, whatever, tweaked, you know, agitated, stressed out like us. But the validity of the study is it's unbiased. People say, oh yeah, you know what, it is done by this company, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? It's done by the computer. So there you go. It's done by the computer. It's done by the software. The software doesn't lie. It spits it out. So, you know, you can fudge it. You can hide it, but you can't fudge it. And that's the whole idea what they did. That's why they were, per se, quote unquote, sorry, they were flabbergasted with results. And that's a thing that, as Dr. Seward pointed, the synergy of those two, because, and then what Dr. McKee, Sean said, I mean, guys, what's more important than normal functioning and the proper cellular defense? Again, and that's what Dr. Brimhall, Brad, was talking about. It's a normal defense. So we are not upregulating, we're not boosting. We are tuning up to the normality. So when we age, cells start getting confused. So having an NRF2 activator and liquid collagen, what they did, what is more important than the first line of defense, which is called innate immune system? This is what your body is dealing with. You need your innate, it's like whatever you're eating, it's not necessarily clean or, you know, some dirty. And the innate system is recognizing the infection, the viruses, the fungi, you know, why people, you know, pandemic. What was wrong in the pandemic? The innate immune system was wrong in the pandemic, because then everything else was screwed up following it. So having that incredible synergistic upregulation, tuning up of the innate primary defense, it is huge. It is absolutely, to me, it's absolutely monstrous. And then being sort of upregulated in that synergy by almost 300%, absolute. And then again, supporting previous presenters. What did the study finally prove? Well, molecularly proved that NRF2+Collagen is an NRF2 activator. Hello, we got it. It's there, it's fact, it's statistically significant. What did we prove? That what liquid collagen does in terms of collagen and genes and blah, 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 it did. But the duality of them affected that, as Sean was pointing on what is called cytokine cascade. You want, per se, your IL-6 to work. Absolutely, you do. Because this is your normal acute inflammatory response. But you don't want to get it out of control. And we are normalizing these things. We're down-regulating when it needs to be and tuning up when it needs to be. And that's the beauty of it. And again, I mean, this is an amazing study. I like that LifeVantage per se. They're not hyping it. You know, maybe some other companies, they go gaga. This is like with a style, with a class, with the validity. I like it. And hopefully we all push for it. It's going to be published in the peer-reviewed journal. So that's my take on it. And again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the honor. Thank you.
Love you, Dr. Sveta. Was that not good, you guys? Oh my gosh, some more. Absolutely incredible. Who wants some cellular defense? Yes, who wants to balance things out in life in general, right? Thank you, Dr. Sveta. Love you to pieces. All right, Dr. Nancy, here you are. Look at this girl. It's been such a gift tonight to look on my screen and just see her huge smile coming right at me. It's just incredible. She is a doctor of pharmacy, a pharm PhD. Have you heard of those? Let me tell you about her brain and the way that it works. When she speaks to me about anything, she'll just go, and my mind is blown away. She's certified diabetic educator. She's certified in geriatric specialist. She has also formulated in the veterinary world, in the nutritional world, in the medicinal world, and all of that. Her brain is powerful. She's also a cancer survivor, and she is just a mom, and she is just the light of the world. And we love you and we thank you. And also on that scientific advisory board. And again, you guys, these people, like Dr. Sveta just said, this is not hype. This is grounded in science. This is grounded in what these people do every day. Their names mean everything to them. And so Dr. Nancy, why do you feel so excited about this activated liquid collagen and NRF2? I was thinking too, as we were going through this, you know, knowing that we have 10 different type of peptides, right? That it's, you know, you could go through some of that. Tell us why you're excited, but maybe why is this such a big deal combined with that NRF2?
Oh my gosh, I just don't even begin to know. I'm so humbled. I'm so humbled, honestly. It's just so humbling to be amongst this group of people, mostly for their hearts. All of them come from a perspective of being given gifts. And I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Oh gosh, did I have to follow Sveta? Oh, she's so brilliant. But you know what? What this all comes down to has been what I've been about since I graduated from pharmacy school, and I always forget to mention my molecular biochemistry is my major passion. Everything in my life has been about balancing the chemistry. How much have we heard tonight about balance? This is the part that's very difficult for people to understand when we start talking chemistry and they start glazing over. And for me, when I saw the study, I think what just really did it for me was the perspective of, I know what Dr. Seward talks about when he talks about what we do to ascertain the ingredients we have and to have the proper things put together exactly perfectly are one of the reasons that when we have products, we can have studies and know that we can expect the same results over and over in people, like a pharmaceutical. The reason pharmaceuticals took over for nutrients early in the 50s, 60s, and 70s was because they made it synthetically. They made a drug synthetically that you'd make the same over and over and over. Why that's so difficult is when you have plant parts that are grown in different areas of the world and different amounts of rain and different soils and all those different things, it is so important for the work that our company does to make sure that those raw ingredients contain and are part of everything that we put together. And then not only do we check it beforehand, but after. And that's the thing you don't see in so many of these companies that have ingredients. Half the time, many of the ingredients, because there's not a lot of regulation on this, aren't even what's inside the bottle. And so what I love about what we have and what we're doing is when you're talking about those 10 types of proteins of collagen, we know those are in there. And why we're seeing the results when we see these studies, and what blows our minds, is because we're able to see this over and over again in the studies just like you would see in the pharmaceutical world. That was the world I came from, knowing that there had to be better answers. For me, it was about having a balanced chemistry from the cell out. I came to this company because I saw what was happening from the cell out with NRF2. And then to be able to, it just blows my mind that they can even take that to a different level with collagen and what we started seeing with the collagen. But what we're seeing with the synergy of those two things together is just really, truly, it's as I think it was Sveta that said it, or well, everybody's saying it. We know from the inside scientists what they're saying to us, that they were overwhelmed. They were blown away by what they saw. They were not expecting this. And you know what? Their excitement led to our excitement in looking at it. But in the end, we can all talk about all this science and all this perfectness. In the end, it's what's happening in people. And that's what I'm seeing over and over and over again, as all of us are. I saw it in myself. Those 10 collagens, one of the reasons it's such a big deal in our collagen itself is the fact that there are some collagens we can't take from the outside. We have to be able to put them inside, and we have to have some activation that occurs so that we can make some more of them inside. And so to get some of these very particular types of collagen into us is important. So yes, our collagen does replenish some, but it's that component of activating our bodies to make it, and then having the component, most importantly, where we're maintaining it. We're not breaking it down as fast. And I think that that's what we're seeing in terms of what's happening with the NRF2 as well. We're now having building blocks staying put. And as a result of that, we're seeing results that I didn't anticipate. I know many didn't anticipate in terms of where people are with their mental awareness, just focused more, all of those kinds of things that, you know what, just lead us to know that it's really doing some things impactfully inside. But I don't know, as a pharmacist and as a pharmacologist and someone that makes things, when you see an impact of a product that can take our bodies and help the magnificence of our bodies to activate, and to be able to see that we have something that's so powerful for our immune system. Oh my gosh, all I have to do is look every single day at where we are in our medical system. Our immune systems have been destroyed, and it's based on your genes, which ways those are going. But the best part is, I always love to tell people, I don't care what it is. We're letting the body decide. We're letting the body activate. And it's through the wonderment of having proper supplies, putting the product together, all the way through to the research that Christina is doing and Lisa Barnes and what they've put together to make it make sense, so that when we are telling other scientists about this, we're seeing so many more nurses and doctors taking a look at this now, because they know the impact of the immune system, and anything out there that is going to help the body to maintain that immune system and keep it going in the right direction is got to be one of the most powerful things we'll see.
Well, Dr. Nancy, I know, and those that have been around for a while know that you have legs that are very famous. Dr. Nancy's had incredible results. And what's powerful is that we all, when we started this, we didn't know what was going to be happening, right? We didn't know all of the details, but we know that this company is founded on science. And so we have that trust there, but we just don't know where it's going to go. And then suddenly we're like, ooh, this feels more supple. Ooh, like my husband, one of my very best friends said he looked like the angry guy, and now he looks like a nice guy, because this filled in and he just looked brighter and all the different things. And so skin, we started noticing, right? A lot of people's skin and having a lot of different things happen. So can you tell everybody kind of what happened to your legs? And I know it's happened to your arms, but you guys, that's when everybody else kept saying, if that's happening on the outside, can you imagine what's happening on the inside? Then we did start seeing like oh my gosh, my gut, this, oh my gosh, my flexibility, that, oh my gosh, my workouts, this, oh my gosh, my sleep, that, oh my gosh, the clarity of my eyeballs, this and that. So Nancy, tell everybody about your legs and your arms.
Well, first, when we first received this, that's one of the benefits, if you will, being on the science board, is that we received the product ahead of time to try. And one of the things they asked us all to do was to take lots of pictures. And they said, not just your face, take pictures everywhere. Well, I don't know how many people had the issue during COVID of losing weight in a fast amount of time, so that your muscles, just everything just kind of fell apart all at once. I had COVID. I didn't have it severe, but I lost my appetite and really struggled. And as a result of it, the crepiness and what my legs looked like, literally, they were like I was in my 80s or 90s. And it was embarrassing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. But I thought to myself, when we're taking pictures, if I take these pictures and it really matters and makes a difference, oh my goodness, because nothing looked worse to me than that. Okay. Oh my gosh. The results that happened in a 3-week period of time were just shocking. And when people saw the pictures, I'm going to say, yeah, I did not want those published. That wasn't what I really had in mind, but they've kind of gone worldwide now. But you know what? That's so important. People need, what did we say? All the studies matter. All this matters. But in the end, what happens? And you know what? I can tell you that it's been something that's really happened to a lot of people now. I've seen lots of leg pictures. And the important part is we're talking about the scaffolding. You heard them talking about the inside structures. And guess what? We're getting all this scaffolding built back in, and it's picking up our cells again, taking out those wrinkles, taking out those crevices, because the structuring is back. And you know what? Yes, we care what we look like, but imagine what's going on with our heart, and imagine what's going on with blood vessels. And just think about, if that's what my legs looked like on the outside, imagine what blood vessels can be looking like on the inside.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Dr. Nancy, thank you. I know we got to keep moving along, but those are the things that we do want you all thinking of. The power of everything on the inside. It does impact the outside, and you are getting a lot of comments on how radiant you are looking as well, Dr. Nancy. Amen to that. We love you so much. Okay, Dr. Melody Redarde, if you can unmute, we have another treat from Arizona. Dr. Melody has been voted top doc year after year after year. I don't even know how many years, many, many, many years. So all of you in Arizona, I tell you, you've got the best grouping of people. She's a double board certified internist and obesity medicine specialist in Arizona. She was named, like I said, top doc. And she also obtained her doctor of osteopathic medicine from Midwestern University in 2002. She's also certified in hyperbaric medicine, wound care, and medical aesthetics, as well as bioidentical hormone replacement. She loves personalized medicine. Are we so grateful and just so blessed to have doctors here that care about the whole body, right? And she wants to work directly with each individual person. That's why they're here tonight, you guys, because they care about each and every one of you and literally the world out there. So they are serving and doing and doing. She's been married to her incredible husband, Tony, for 25 years, and they have 20-year-old twins. So cool. They love to travel the world and serve in the community. And LifeVantage helped retire her incredible husband in 2018 after 20 years of law enforcement. And he also started a nonprofit organization. And then she opened up her own practice where she can do all this great stuff in 2019. So such a powerful woman that we have here as well. So welcome, Dr. Melody. Please share with us your thoughts on this powerful study. If everybody should be continuing to take it, starting to take it, and what did you see from, taking the products and then suddenly collagen pops in and bam, what do we see with yourself, with your family, with patients, etc.? Please, please, please.
Well, thank you so much for including me. Last And it's like, what else to say, right? You guys got to hear from incredible people, and I love this group. It's such an honor to be a part of the scientific advisory board. You know, people come in your life, and it's for a purpose and a reason. And that's really what I want to share here. Is I'm so thankful that my colleague wanted me to know about this, because he had no clue what was going on in my family at the time. And stories are what people connect people, and it has brought us forward to doing so many good things in other people's lives. If we sat here and went through the 500 people on this Zoom, everybody has been touched by these products, and we want to share. We want to continue sharing with people, because when you know something good, you can't keep it under wraps. And that's how I feel about this. And it was very hard. I'm so thankful that I have my own practice, because when I could not do this in my practice, I felt like it was almost malpractice, that I couldn't tell people about this, because the cells need health, and we have products to provide that. And I wouldn't have looked at this without the science. And so you've gotten to hear from so many of us, so many people on here talking about that there are studies that you can go and look at. And this last one, like Dr. Sveta knocked it out of the park, talking about you can't fudge a computer. Like, you literally can look at all of this. And I will tell you, a year ago, sitting on one of our SAB meetings, and some of this stuff is coming up, and we're seeing, not even a year ago, I had done a lecture, Sveta had done a lecture. We talked so much about how do we help our post-COVID patients. And when Christina, Dr. Beer, threw up some of these genes, it was like, I wanted to get up out of my seat and start doing backflips if I could, because it was putting two and two together. And so you guys have that now. You can go into your back office. Anybody on here who hasn't seen the study, just go on to lifevantage.com, click on the image that has the NRF2 and the collagen together, and then scroll down. The study is there. And so you can look at all of the genes that were upregulated, downregulated. And that's why all of us are so excited. It was like a Christmas present when they handed us this. It was the best Christmas present ever, and them telling us to keep it under wraps and not talk about it until the study was done and the patent was released. I mean, that was very hard to do. And that's where our excitement is because we got to see that, and we understood the reason behind why so many people were having the results they were having, that we just want to continue sharing and seeing. And I'll tell you, for me, it's always like, let's put this on. I want you to take pictures. I want you to keep a symptom log, and let's go. Let's see what's going to happen, because it's there. It's that incredible. And so I'll just get real sciencey for 2 seconds. Those of you who know about cytokines, that's what you want to see, is the reduction. Those of you who know about IL-6, those of you who know about NF-kappa B, those are the things that I want you to go to the study and look at, because those of you who understand that are going to have a higher, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. The rest of you, all you have to know is fibroblasts are good, and when they function better, that's even better. And that's the simplest part of it. We need healthy cells, and that's what we're promoting, is cellular health. That you can't buy, you can't take a medication for. You just can't.
That was unbelievable. You guys, the best Christmas present ever. Can you feel her energy popping through her chair in her office there? This is this is just the power. And this is how the corporate staff was as well when we would talk to them. They're like, oh my gosh, the study. Oh my gosh, the study. And the corporate staff is incredible. We talk to them on a weekly basis, and they are our corporate staff, right? They make sure that you all here get your products on time and are doing all the right things and this and that. But usually we're the ones that are like, oh my gosh, there was this story, and oh my gosh, there was that story. And then when you have the corporate staff saying, the study, you guys are going to freak. And then they would say, and I know many of these doctors here as well, they would say, do not let anybody ever get off of Protandim and collagen. They just kept saying, they're like, I can't tell you all the things. Just don't let anybody ever get off. I can't tell you the details. Just don't let anybody get off. Get more people on, share the story. And this is why we had such massive growth, right? When this product was first launched, we were so excited. We didn't know what was going to happen. And then suddenly people were starting to use it. And then they would start using it. And then people start sharing, oh my gosh, this is happening. Oh my gosh, that's happening, because it works. Again, it's not hype. This product works. So I love what you said, Dr. Melody, about pictures. And so for those of you that are not on the product yet, and even those that you are, take pictures. Continue to take tons and tons of pictures before, like the front of your face, the side of your face, the other side of your face, smiling really big, your eyelashes, your hair, your jawline, your chest, your arms, your stomach, your legs, your heels of your feet. If you have cellulite, yes, who here has had cellulite improvements and tightening of skin? Some people like the sides of their hips and their booties, sorry, but for real, it's a big deal. If you have stretch marks, if you have your varicose veins, if you have, different skin issues of any sort, brightening, I'm telling you, take pictures of everything, because you cannot go backwards. And you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I wish that I would have. So thank you so much, Dr. Melody. That was such an incredible Christmas gift that you just gave all of us. Dr. Brett, can you just close us out with anything that maybe we missed, any expectations everybody could have here? And we want to make sure that we honor everybody's time tonight. We'll get this out to you all. I know there were several that weren't able to get on, so we'll make sure to get that out. But we could talk all night. You just need to know, get on this stuff. Dr. Brett, are you there?
And thank you all for being here tonight. Like, it's just phenomenal to be a part of this group, and also very humbling to see 500 people stayed on this long, and knowing there are many others that could not get on. And I hope that each of you got something out of this for yourselves. And I want to give you a couple like simple expectations and promises. I can promise you, you are where you are based upon what you're currently doing, and not only what you're doing, but what you've been doing for a while. The results you're having currently in your life and in your health are a result of what you've been doing for the last several years, even decades, right? And so your level of wellness is directly equal to your level of activation. And so, like, the cool thing is, like, as I think about all these different individuals that have shared tonight, and the years, we're talking about years, and we combine them decades of not only experience, but education. And none of them were called up by LifeVantage and say, I want you to be a part of LifeVantage. Like, all of us found LifeVantage, or LifeVantage found us through different reasons of things that in our own personal life or lives of people we loved, that we were able to see some things in their lives change that we were struggling with. It led us to being asked to be on a part of this science advisory board as a non-paid position. And we're here because we want to educate and inspire and give people things that we didn't have. Like, I wish I would have known all that I know now when I started practice in 2001. So I think about so many people that I could have told them better, or things that could have helped them sooner or quicker. And the most expensive product you'll ever take is the one that doesn't work. And so it's really important to know that the products you take are giving the level of results you're having. So if your products are not activated and they're not tested this way, there's a high probability that you don't know what they're doing. And I love the confidence that I've heard from each of these clinicians tonight. I have a huge respect for them and the knowledge and expertise they have. And they are telling you what they do for their own families and what we do for the many people that trust us with their healthcare. Because I want my family to have the best health as possible, not only for anything they're struggling with, for anything I don't want them to struggle with. And so if I can activate their body, knowing that they have these genes of the mammal, and I can optimize their performance, I want them in their lives, not because of having a problem, because I don't want them to have a problem. So I love all the science, but bottom line is, if it's not in you, it's not doing any good. The studies are super cool, but they don't affect your cells. Only getting the products in you do. So get back to the person that invited you or that showed this video to you, and just have a conversation of what do you want and where do these fit in your life. I would rather people take a half a dose of these things their whole life and take that forever, because it's not going to happen in a week, a day, or a month. You don't lose your health overnight. I would rather them take a half a dose of these things for the rest of their lives, because I know I'm going to optimize their systems, even though we know the study was based on these doses. But do what you can do consistently, long term, and allow your body the time so it can have the results that you deserve. The studies back it up. Every product that LifeVantage makes is that way. I love that level of confidence. And we want you to be a part of this experience. We want to know what you're experiencing. We want to be a part of that journey, because we want other people across the globe that haven't heard of Active Action yet, that haven't read this study yet, that are struggling with things in their health and their family. We want them to know about it. The only way they'll ever know about it if it's somebody like you is willing to share with them and say, hey, let's get you activated. Okay, so we love you guys. We're grateful. Michelle, thank you for putting this together for all of us. And we can't wait to hear the stories and see the experiences and to continue to let this thing run.